Hello Bujo friends, and welcome back to a new video. So this time I want to show you some habit tracker ideas for your bullet journal. And exciting news, I will have most of the habit trackers that I'm showing you in my Etsy shop, and you will be able to download them and print them out as many times as you need and put them in your bullet journal. So let's get into the first one. I want to show you some monthly habit trackers first, and the very first one is the one that I'm currently using. I'm simply writing down the days of the month at the top and then the habits underneath each other, and the way I'm filling it in right now is I just simply fill in a square for each time that I'm completed the habit that day. But you can also do lines to get some sort of pattern when you're done, and this looks really interesting. For me, it's just not that functional. I just need something that's a little more quick. But you can also just cross it off or make a dot or like a simple small dot, or however you like. You can make it as functional for you as you need it. Next up, I thought about something that would be a little more functional for tracking social media stuff. So I made the squares for the single habits a little bit wider, and I'm drawing the icons at the top. This time I chose Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, counting steps, going to bed early, and I drew an apple for something like, I don't know, whenever you had fruit that day or your vitamins. But I thought that it would be cool to have something different to track your social media and obviously everything else you want to track with that. But you can obviously fill it in just like that, but I thought that it would be fun to make it a little bit more functional and writing down your post schedule on Instagram, or when you want to film, edit, upload your YouTube videos, how many steps you walk that day, at which time you go to bed. You can just write down the clock at the time, so you can make it a little more functional. Next up, a round habit tracker, so lots of circles. Mine look a little bit lumpy and messy because I just freehanded them, but you can obviously use a protractor or compass to achieve a cleaner look. But basically you divide the circle into the days of the month, and you leave a little space for your habits, and then you can just fill it in a single color or like in a rainbow pattern, because it kind of reminded me of a rainbow. And talking of rainbows, I thought you could actually make a monthly habit tracker looking like a rainbow, right? So you simply draw lots of half circles, and then you divide them up into the days of the month, and you leave a little space for your actual habit, and simple as that, you have a rainbow habit tracker for your month. And obviously you can add a lot more half circles than I did. You just need to see how many habits you want to track and how many circles you need. And again, you can fill it in like one color or rainbow color palette, or however you want. You could always choose to make the rainbow different, like having like the first 5 days in yellow, the next 5 days in orange. This would look really cool as well. Next up, I wanted to make a square habit tracker for the month, and you basically draw out a square and divide it up into the days of the month. I did not like this version so much because the place for the habits was really, really tiny, and I wanted to have something with a little bit more space. So on the next page I tried to make the square a little bit taller, so that I could fit a longer title for the habits. And yeah, so I decided to make it a little bit taller, and I divided it up into the days of the month, and by this point everything worked out really great. But then I messed up. I kind of messed up the spacing, and you will see it really soon, like right now. So there's when I realized I messed it up. But for my printables I got it right, and you can just print it out, have the correct spacing and everything. So next up, some weekly habit trackers. So some habit trackers you can add to your weekly spreads. The first one, really easy, timetable style. You just fill out the squares in patterns if you like. Yeah. So this is a really simple one. Next up is even more simpler because I left out the border and add lines between the days and the habits, and just have a cleaner look. You don't really need those borders because you have the dots to guide you. And again, the rainbow one, because it's a lot easier to draw for the week, and I want to show it to you. And then I decided to make something fun, like something like a border if you want to divide your page, and you can use that border and create buntings for each habit and just fill it in. You can do different ones. I'm showing you here like a pointy one and a round one, and I think they're really fun. Next up, I decided to draw a mason jar and something a little bit more creative than your usual habit tracker, and I've drawn flowers, like for one flower for each habit, and each flower has 7 petals or buds, and you simply color in as you complete the habit, and by the end of the week you see how many petals you could color in. If you want to track single habits, you can always choose to just draw one flower. Next up, some really single habits. So when you want to track just one habit for the whole month, that's the way to do. So here is the circle version, where you divide a circle into the days of the month, and I put the habit in the middle, and you simply color in as you go. Next up, a calendar view habit tracker. This is one for the month of February, and you basically mark the days where you complete your habit. And then something that's not specific to a month, you have 3 lines of days, like every day, every line has 10 days, and at the top you have it, or like a longer version where you have 15 squares at the bottom, and 20 squares at the bottom and 10 at the top, and place for a habit. And then I wanted to make something even more simpler, where I just wrote out the days. You write down 15 at the top and 15 at the bottom. I messed up the first one, so I made a second one. But yeah, and then you just simply highlight the days where you fulfilled your habit. And then 2 more creative versions. First is a flower with 30 petals, really easy, and you just color in as you go. And next to that, I wanted to have a succulent tracker, so I drew a succulent with 30 petals for months with 31 days. You can just use the circle in the middle as your extra day, and yeah, same as with the flower, you just color in the petals. And then I thought that people are tracking like their mood a whole year. Why not track a habit a whole year? And I thought it would be fun to have like 2 habits next to each other, tracked the whole year, and you can see if those habits affect each other, like when you go to bed early, if you have no headache the next day, something like that, or if you feel more relaxed when you read during the day. And you can simply add every habit you want and track them, and you can see your progress throughout the year. And I chose to draw out to mark the habits each month with another color, so that it's a little bit more separated and easier to reference. But I really like the idea to track something a whole year. So those are my ideas for your habit trackers, and as mentioned, you can find them in my Etsy shop. I will link it down below. And for all of you who made it to the end of the video, I have a giveaway for you. I bought this bullet journal again, so that I can give it to one of you. If you want to win this really cute bullet journal, just be subscribed, and obviously you get one without the post-it. And yeah, so all you need to do is be subscribed and leave a comment down below with a video request that you would like to see. Something like the habit trackers, maybe in a different style, like tracking progress, or yeah, whatever you can think of. Just leave a request down below and I will pick a winner in a week. So yeah, good luck to everyone and see you next time. Bye everyone!